Anybody know where we are?
We are in this crazy world and we're doing it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Janine and Dr. Brenda, and Dr. Brenda and Janine. We're all here, both of us, all here.
Dr. Brenda is trying to find out where you are live. Is it on your personal page?
I don't know. It's not showing up anywhere. It's not showing up on my personal. Maybe we're not live.
It's recording and it says live Facebook.
Yeah, interesting. Hey, let me just check this.
Yeah, okay. We are live in the
Yes, we're live. We are live on my business page. It works.
Business page?
Yes, we are. We are.
There we are. Oh, yay. Okay.
I've got a process down. I've got the process down, and I just wanted to test it. So this is a little bit of a testing ground, and why it's a testing ground is today is a magic day because we are starting a new fantastic little series here as we share our stuff out on the alphabet game. It's called. Woohoo! Who wants to play? Let's play. Let's play. Let's play. So we are just sharing things out, and I'm going to let Dr. Brenda introduce herself, and then I'll introduce myself, and then we'll get going.
Okay, let's roll with it. I'm checking my group. We are here. Hey, my Financial Freedom for Women group. How you doing? I am Dr. Brenda. I'm a sociologist, a financial coach, founder of Gutsy Women Finances Community, where fun and finances meet. And I'm a full-time RVer traveling the USA. Ooh, with my 3 cats. There goes one. There's Coco. There's the tail. Coco just got back from the vet with Coco, so she's should be a little loopy.
And
to you, Janine.
And over to me, Janine is hello. I'm Janine McJannet. Welcome. We are getting this ironed out in terms of sharing it to the right places. I live up in the Yukon, in the land of the midnight sun, which is in the summer, and in the land of the dark and mystery in the winter, which is where I am. I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm an integrative health coach, and I am a specialist in women's empowerment and play. And I love bringing women to a place where they can feel free. And that's why Brenda and I have connected in this way, because it's all about freedom. And we've started this fun, fantastic thing today called the alphabet game. Because we really want to play. We want to inject more play and more, drinking her tea, right? When I gave you the cue, more fun into the day.
Oh, more fun. Yes.
Yeah. So this is what we're doing. And we thought, well, why not just play with the words? We are wordologists. We are wordsmiths. Most of us in this world are. And so we just want to play with it. And today is A. And what we're going to do, just to sort of like put it out there, is we're going to come up with a word, and we're going to have little short conversations about it, a word or 2 or 3 or 10. If you've got a word, drop it in, send us the DM. We're going to go right through the alphabet weekly, A, B, C, D, E, you know, the rest of it. And so we have had some words drop in from some viewers, and I've got a couple of words up my sleeve, and I'm sure that Dr. Brenda does too. So let's play this. I know it's kind of like a game show, but there's no stress, there's no pressure, nothing like that. It's like, how can we have a really good time with words? Because words are everything. So I'm going to pass the mic over to you, and I want you to pull a word out of your mind and give us, a few sentences about it, and then I'll have a go, and we'll play back and forth. And
well, this is not the word that I had originally come up with, but I gotta just pick the word animal today. Okay, because I just got back. Coco, there's Coco. She's checking the bird life out. So I took Coco into the vet this morning. Took her into one that's further away, like 45 minutes away, because it's better vet. So animal is on my mind, and as a financial coach too, it's like we love our animals, and there's like a vet right across, retired vet from Canada on the other side of my RV here, who's been really helpful. But she's like, you'd be surprised how many people like have to put an animal down because they can't afford treatment. And sometimes it's not, we're not talking about real over the top treatment. We're talking about basic types of things. So it's like, I mean, my animals, that's who I live with. I had, I was, I'm already, I'm gonna,
Keep going.
I was at an RV park getting my windshield fixed. I was in San Antonio, Texas, and the guy fixing the windshield was this younger guy, and he's like, can I talk to you about relationships? And I kind of turned around because I said, I live in an RV with 3 cats. Are you sure you want to talk to me about relationships? Because yeah, my primary relationships are with my cats. Animals.
Yeah. Animals. That's great. Animals. Now, should I go on animals or do I pick another word?
I was hoping you'd show us your dog is sleeping.
Oh, she's asleep. Yeah, she's fast. I've got my beautiful Boomer over there, and you'll see her.
Yeah.
I'll grab her. Hang on.
Oh, Boomer sits on the chair with Janine. Boomer is a cool dog. So yeah, we're into animals. To me, cats are easier to take care of, and they're independent. There's Boomer.
Here's Boomer.
Boomer.
She's just like a little kitty cat.
Yeah, the way he allows you to hold him like that.
She's a she. She's a she.
Okay, well, with Boomer, it's hard to know.
I know. She's beautiful. Okay, so animals have a fantastic. Okay, you can go back to bed now, sweetie. Animals have an incredible role in our lives. So much. We could actually dedicate a whole half an hour conversation to animals, but
I know. In
the light of the gameness of this, I'm going to choose another word that is. Are you ready? Okay, I want to choose this word because it says more than what you think it does. And are you ready?
I'm ready. Come on.
Abracadabra.
How did I know that?
Abracadabra. Where does that word come from? It's in Hebrew. It comes from, or some people say it's from the corruption of the Hebrew words, which means I will create as I speak. And it's the act of speech which magically creates new realities. Abracadabra, abracadabra. So as I come into this day, we think, how can, we're creating magic right now. We all create magic every time we open our mouths, pretty much, because it tends to just run. It just tends to be habit. It tends to be pattern, whatever comes out. Abracadabra. So that's what I was thinking I'd bring. What do you think? Come on, let's go.
It all fits like with the magic thing too, but I just finished writing an article this morning, and it's on like millionaire mindset, but it's all about mindset. And it's like, if you put it, you put it out to the universe. We're both business people. We're doing what we can do, but it's like you have to put the energy and put those abracadabra words out there in your own voice for it to do some magic. I like abracadabra.
Abracadabra, and it's really used like
it's an awesome word.
It's an awesome word that really brings awareness into our authentic living, because that word, like it's what we think, we become. What we speak, we become. So what magic can you put into it with your abracadabra? It's like one of our questions in hypnotherapy. We get our little magic wand and we go, what do you really want? And then you just go, what do you mean? What do I really want? What do you really want? What would life be if you didn't have all these problems in your way? And that's magic when you can start thinking about it, right? And that's where we have to focus on. So that's abracadabra. Okay, give us another A. Actually, Desiree came on. I'm going to pick one from the hat.
Excellent.
She came on earlier and gave us some words, and awareness was one of them. And we can tackle that one. So I'd like you to speak a little bit about it, and me too.
When you said awareness, the first word that came to my head was, because we often think the same thing. Guess? Awareness. Awareness. First thing that popped into my head was habits.
Oh, I thought I was looking for an A word.
No, that wasn't an A word.
Okay.
For habits. Because, you know, being aware, that's like the first step in like understanding what's a habit and what's not a habit, and then why you're creating these habits. When you become aware of your behaviors, you know, sometimes we just do things routinely. In the daytime, we just go through this whole routine. Once we become aware of it, now we can kind of change things around, but you have to be aware of it, and then you have to want the change. So that was the first thing that popped into my head. Awareness. What pops into your head? Doesn't have to start with an A.
What pops into my head, and everyone says awareness is the first step, but I think there's a step to get to awareness. And so that's what popped into my mind is curiosity. You need to have that curiosity to become aware, right? You just can't all of a sudden like become aware. You got to go, I wonder what more. I wonder what's beyond that cage, that corporate cage, whatever bars you have, whatever prison bars you have up. To get aware, you have to like, I want to know what's going on there, because awareness just doesn't happen. It's got to be instigated.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, also because, I mean, I think about when I was sitting at the dining room table, I was aware of how unhappy I was, but I couldn't figure out what I was going to do instead. But I think like curiosity is such a part of who I am and who you are that I automatically kind of jump to the conclusion, which is wrong, that everybody has that same level of curiosity. But you're right, they don't. You have to, you know, if you don't open your mind to all these other possibilities, if you're not curious, you're probably not going to hit the awareness button.
Yeah, right. So that's it. All right, chuck another A word out there, Dr. Brenda.
Okay, yeah, I'm going through my one of the ones that popped up was accomplish.
Oh,
Accomplish. How does that make you? What do you think of when you say accomplish?
Accomplish, the first thing that sets in, and it was actually a feeling. It totally bypassed my mind and came right into my stomach. Was accomplish means getting something done. It means doing something great or fantastic. But then my mind stepped in and said, whoa, hold on, feelings. It's not just about that. So there was a lot of history that came up with those feelings, fear of getting out there and being and doing the best at everything, to feel that accomplished, to have a degree is accomplished. I don't have a degree, but I still accomplish a lot. So my mind stepped in and just went, accomplishing. What does it mean to you, Janine? And I'm thinking out loud here, because this is the nature of this abracadabra call, is to just what do you want? It comes back to identity. What do you want? And how can you know when you will accomplish something? It's all about goal setting. It really is. Whatever that goal is, how can you accomplish it? You can accomplish looking great, having a shower, doing your exercise, doing all these habits and patterns. But how can you know when it's done, when it's accomplished? There's a bit of celebration that has to come in, and acknowledgement. I think I have to put together with accomplishment. Just like curiosity and awareness, I think acknowledgement comes in with accomplishment. Carrie, your turn.
I went down a different path. So when I said accomplish, my first thought was I kind of ended up back in that corporate environment.
Oof.
I mean, I do have my PhD. I've accomplished a lot. I accomplished it as my career. But when I think of accomplish, I often think about what society deems to be success and not success. So I've spent a lot of years now removing my identity from what I do. That I was the researcher and I specialized in this, and this is what I did. And I've had to kind of remove those onion peels. So accomplish almost makes me feel like I'm living up to somebody else's idea of what it means to be successful, whether it's the money or the house or the career or however we define this. And for me, it's like I have to back off of accomplish. I accomplish all kinds of things in the business. I almost have to throw that word out sometimes and just let it sit. I don't have to accomplish something today. I don't, I can measure my worth through another way than what I do. So that was the trigger that it touched off in me, which I was not anticipating because I just pulled it out of a list.
Interesting though, because you've attached accomplished to what you have to do, and then you've acknowledged, what that is. So is accomplishment, it's a good segue into, it's not all about what you do, but it's about who you are, what I am. And we just talked about that identity piece, which really, really comes to, flow into the next word, which could be authenticity, right? How does identity and authenticity connect with each other? See, all these pairs of words seem to be coming together today. And authenticity, what is it? Is it a label? Is accomplishment something that you have to really, does it have to be terrific, or can just getting out of bed and cooking yourself a beautiful breakfast, can that be accomplishment? Can smiling and laughing? See, I'm sort of playing with the different words here, but who do you identify as rather than what you do? Who are you? You see, we want to be cautious about that labeling thing, because our identity, I can't wait till the eyes, our identity is the most powerful force that we have, knowing who we are. So yeah, authenticity, that's the word I'm throwing out there now, because a lot of people go, I just want to be authentic. I want to speak my truth. I want to and be authentic. What does that mean in terms of busting out of the norm and growing and creating something new and big and different? Do you want to label yourself, this is my authenticity and I'm staying with it, it's speaking my truth, but our truth changes with every accomplishment, with every moment in the day. So that's what I wanted to throw. What do you have to say about that?
I'm trying to remember who I was talking to that did not like that word. Was it you?
Yeah, it could have been
Might have
me.
you?
Right from. Yeah.
So back up, what was that conversation? What don't you like about authenticity?
Well, it's a word that I'm now looking at differently because of the connection to identity. Identity changes. We change every moment, every time we grow. Authenticity, it kind of keeps you held in. It stops you from making different choices, because when you grow into something different or someone different, your level of authenticity changes. It's not who at that moment, I'm getting kind of philosophical here, but at that moment in my authentic place right now, if I step out and do something that's different, that's not authentic to who I am right now. It's authentic to my new me. So that's why identity can come in and just say, well, let's just see what the difference is. When I say, I'm authentic. What does it really mean? Is it a label? Is it a new?
I think the challenge for me, I am authentic. I am, this is me.
You're real.
But we all wear different hats. So if I were to go in front of an audience and make a presentation, I've got to dress the part. I am maybe a little bit uncomfortable because I'm not in my RV gear, which is my norm now. Yeah. But I am still authentic, but I am presenting things in a different manner. Yeah. So I'm not pretending to be somebody that I'm not. Mm-hmm. But I think also with the authentic piece, we put ourselves out there as business people, and at some point we got to say, look, this is our personality, these are our values, this is what we stand for, and it's okay if we're not a good fit for you, right? So being authentic doesn't mean, not everybody loves our personalities. Well, yeah. They should, but they don't.
Oh, wait, now should. No, there's always the option.
We'll wait until the yes word.
Well, I don't want you or I to be too abro-dietetical about it.
Oh my God. What is that word?
I'm just going to say that again. We're getting a little bit abro-dietical. And what that means is that becoming extremely picky or delicate or dainty about something. So that's just a new A word, because I think that we have to increase our vocabulary.
I'm not even sure if you're pronouncing it correctly.
What's wrong with abro-dietetical?
I don't know.
Doesn't sound right.
we-
But yeah, it's where you're extremely dainty. So perhaps, when you go and you do things that aren't authentic, that's when you're stepping into that abrodietical.
okay.
That's what it is.
Do we have
Abrodietical.
another word? We have another word. Does somebody toss out another word at all?
Oh, let's just go up to the list here. Artsy.
Ooh,
Artsy.
ooh, I love that word.
What does artsy mean to you?
Artsy. I love artsy. So, but here's the thing. I think every one of us has some creativity. I run into so many people who say, well, I could never do that. I can't draw. I can't write. I can't. And we're both very, very creative in all the stuff that we do. So artsy, creativity, it's all part of us. But for some people, it has to come. I mean, you've got folks like who have brain injuries, and then they become artists. It's like it's hiding all in themselves anyway. It's just a different part of the brain, different part of the brain we have to exercise. But artsy, to me, I also have this image of, just a wild, free-flowing woman on the beach, dressed in all kinds of colors, and it's a freeing. I feel that. There you go. It's a feeling that comes with that artsy. It's somebody who dances to her own drummer.
Oof.
That's what jumps into my mind. How about you?
That's great. Well, when I just saw the word artsy there, I'm like, well, what is artsy? And I go back to conditioned childhood memories and think of the schoolyard, and there were categories of people. Some were artsy and some weren't. And those that were artsy, I envied because, wow, they can draw really well. It was a label. Again, coming to identity, it was a label. But now in my mature sixth decade, whatever it is, artsy does have a much more expansive definition, more creative, more expressive, and it's going way beyond just drawing. It's how we use our words, how we use our body, how we use our minds, how we are creative, how we stand up for ourselves. Even creating boundaries to me is a form of artistry, because we are, here I go. I don't know what I'm going to say. What's the word? Abracadabra. It's just flowing. But that feeling of just creating something, creating wisdom, creating a poem, creating writing, creating anything is artistry. Walking down the street, with your hair flowing back and your hips moving around, there's a little bit of art to that too. It's just being you.
It is freeing, though. When you think about that expression, that just the way so you can physically carry yourself. So I like that word.
Yeah.
Can I toss one out?
Sure can.
This is for you.
Okay.
Apology.
It's for me. Now that makes me go, oh my gosh, what do I owe someone an apology for? Guilt, it slammed me right down. But then again, the second thing that came to me was unapologetic, but we're dealing with apology. Apology. I'm from Canada. We all say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You actually are walking down the street and someone walks into you and you're like, I'm sorry. And we apologize for everything. If you don't hear somebody or somebody doesn't hear you, you're like, I'm sorry. The word is thrown around just like crazy. And I'm doing all my best to pull it back. So whenever I hear someone say, I'm sorry, because people pleasers say it a lot. If we are striving to get approval from other people, to belong, to be loved, what's the first thing we do? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And we start to shrink in. So if you are a sorry person, I want you to really pay attention to when you say sorry. And even before you open your lips, think about it. Are you really sorry? Like we're not sorry often, but we say it a lot. And when we say it, it puts us in that really secondary kind of friggin' whatever I'm trying to say. It makes us diminish ourselves a little bit. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry unless you really have hurt somebody, Just say thank you for your patience. If you're late, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. just thank you for your patience. Be you, coming back to right back to being authentic and standing up and setting your boundaries.
Yeah,
What-
and I hear it more from women too. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
last December when I got here, I started playing pickleball, and there was another woman playing pickleball, learning. I was learning, she's learning, and every time she, oh, missed the ball, did something. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You
Was
just
she
learn
Canadian?
stuff. I have to ask her. I don't. She could be, but it's like don't apologize. Stop saying sorry. Just she's like, oh yeah. I'm just so used to it. But it's mostly the women that I hear this from a lot, and then the level of sincere apologies, either given by me or received by me, tend to be pretty rare. It's like
Yeah.
a real apology doesn't happen all that much. It's mostly just because I should apologize, so therefore I do. But I don't really feel bad about what I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Fake apologies. And you can tell when they're inauthentic, right?
Yeah.
Like kids, for example. I'm sorry, rolling their eyes. It's like, yeah, there's so many other words that you can choose instead of I'm sorry. And thank you for your patience.
That was a great word. You got one? Should we?
I do have one more, and it's a really good word. The word is abbot. Wait.
Not again.
No, it's a different word. I know. I want to learn new words. January is a month of learning. I know we're into February, but it's going to carry on. Abacadary. It's either abacadary or abecedary, and it's a special type of poem. And this really aligned with me today because each line begins with a different letter of the alphabet from A to Z.
Man,
It's a real word. So I wrote this little poem. I'm gonna like every time I put my hand up is a new start to a line. Kate, you ready? It's just a short one. I'm not going through the alphabet, but a little girl, bold and beautiful curls, caught a great big fish on the lake. Day after day, enough bait was at play, fearing nothing could get in her way. Gigantic and slimy, heavy fish, just try me, indifferent. And then I had a hard time carrying on from that.
Oh, wow.
So it's a real thing that you
jumping for joy, kicking her sister.
Lots of laughs.
Wow, we could go in a whole nother
many times galore.
We could
back and forth.
end by just you switching
let's
off
go.
until we get like a really fun story. What's the word?
Abecedary, abacadary, or abecedary, or abecedary.
I got the it's got the S sound, abecedarian, an abecedarian.
So I was just an abecedarian, and we practice abecedarianishness.
Excellent. I like
awesome,
that.
Awesome, and incredible.
Amazing.
Amazing, awesome.
Advantageous. Admirable. Very
Let me just go back to the list, and there's one more. Awesomeness is right in there, but arriving. Let's choose that as the last word. The last word to depart on is arriving.
As an RVer, I love that word because my first instinct is, I get in this rig and there's a fair amount of stress involved in getting to my destination. And then I get to that place, I am arriving, and I feel like this sense of joy and newness and freshness and arriving. So I think about it that way, but clearly it has psychological, mental breakthroughs too, like even my ideas. I mean, you've known for a long time. I've been on a roller coaster, and it's like, it's so sometimes I get this idea and I feel like I'm arriving at a new destination. I'm arriving. I'm moving things into a new place. I'm arriving, and so that's kind of where I'm going. You. Tell me.
Arriving says a lot, because I love your expression and it's like a metaphor for those who aren't able to travel as you do. But every morning upon our awakening, we have the opportunity to arrive in a new moment. And that whole journey of awakening to where you are and how you feel and arriving in the moment, we have a choice all the time. We can arrive feeling or thinking one way or another. So it comes down to really being conscious about what our thoughts are. So whenever we arrive from moment to moment in our days, we can arrive in a way that really meets our values and that we are aligned with.
And it's about being curious and then being aware.
Yeah. Yes.
That
I just want to say that, I love being an aquabib with you.
Oh my gosh. Are you really gonna play this game? You want us to pick out like crazy words?
It's not a crazy word. Haven't you heard of it? It's just somebody.
B is coming up next week. Bodacious, bold, brave, Brenda B.
Oh, Brenda. Okay, well, cheers as we drink our water, because we're aquabibs, which is really someone who likes to drink water rather than alcohol.
Tea has water.
It's a real word.
Okay, I got the clink over to this side. You got the clink up? Clink. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, that was fun.
It was fun.
Send in your B letters, and yeah, it's going to be fun next Friday, and we'll do it again. Thank you, Dr. Brenda, and thank me, Janine McJannet, for showing up in this awesome, incredible, as alert as we are, and feeling just alive and awesome.
Awesome. All right. Enjoy your Fridays, guys. Have a good weekend.
Okay. Ciao, ciao. I'm going to go suck on an aquabob right now. It's an icicle.
Ciao.
Bye.